My guest today is Martins Lasmanis, CEO and co-founder of Supliful. This isn't his first company. He bootstrapped Graphomap from scratch and sold it back in 2020. Now he's building Suppliful, letting anyone launch their own supplement, skincare, or food brand without holding a single unit of inventory. He's built and raised money on both sides of the Atlantic, Latvia, and now New York. So today we're going to dig into what actually differs between building a business in Europe versus the US. Hello, Martins. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Miha, how are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Happy that you made the time to talk to us and would just like to dive right into it and talk about your business, Suppliful, and you as an entrepreneur, obviously. Before we dive into the specifics of that, perhaps in one sentence, you could describe to us what does Suppliful actually do and what's your target audience?
Yeah, 100%. Thanks a lot for inviting me, and it's a pleasure to be on the podcast. Supliful is a platform that allows builders. That's how we call all the entrepreneurs that are creating products on the platform to launch their own supplement, coffee, skincare product without ever worrying about cost of inventory, complex operations, or needing extra capital when they're ready to scale a business. That's in a nutshell what we're doing here in the US market.
Really cool. And you as a person, you went from being an electrical engineer, then I think you went from to venture capital, and then being a founder, exiting again, and then another business. Was that always sort of like a plan, or this is just how life turned out to be?
um, when I'm becoming more and more understanding and looking back on the things that are happening in my life, it feels like it is some kind of a plan, but I don't know that the plan exists um, or yeah, it feels like there is some sort of a path in front of me, and sometimes I just need to rely on what will happen. But
Hmm.
I think more mindfully, already late in high school, I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. Maybe because of my father was an entrepreneur, maybe not that successful, but still. And I think the most interesting piece is that in my early 20s, I read a book called How Will You Measure Your Life? And it's a book written by Clayton Christensen, which is one of, it's quite famous economist and just innovator from Harvard. And I read that book, and it's already about 13 years ago. I set myself kind of three principles that I want to be a good father and a good husband to my wife and my family. Uh, that I will, second, that I want to kind of be net positive contributor to the society. So instead of I'm taking, but I'm actually building and creating something. And third aspect was that I actually want to improve and make people's lives better with technology, with solutions that allow them to achieve their own goals and dreams. And funnily enough, this is what I'm doing. So 13, 14 years later, it's a reality. I doubt that I have accomplished everything that I want to, but subconsciously, somehow these principles are guiding me. And I'm very happy and glad about the things that I've experiencing in my life now.
Yeah, totally. And you recently relocated your family to the US. Um, how was that always a dream to live there, or did it just like a coincidental thing from building the business?
Yeah, that's another piece of some random things that happening. So when me and my wife got married back in 2015, we just visited New York for tourism for a week or so, I think. And we were just walking around the cities. We were walking in Brooklyn, and we were like, "It could be nice to live here for some time." And yeah, behold, 10 years later, this is what we actually did. So I've been here in New York. Of course, I'm living in suburbs because I have kids, and then living in the city, I think it'd be impossible. But on
Yeah.
a daily basis, I'm working out of Midtown, and yeah, somehow it happened. But when I started Suppliful, I understood from the very early days that probably a point in time will come that I will need to relocate in order to scale the business further. It's because you reach some sort of certain level of scale of the business that you're just unable to unlock the next stage of growth if you're not in the market, if you're not there. So yeah, of course, a challenging move,
Mm.
but it's something necessary to do
Yeah,
in
yeah,
order
yeah.
to build the business further.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, your wife already agreed to it a few years ago, so this is just a, a logical consequence. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
I would
yeah.
like to go back to your previous company, Graphomap, which was your first official exit or big exit, I would say. Could you walk me through Graphomap at like the very early pre-revenue stage, where like what was the first version of the product that you guys developed?
Well, first of all, it was an exit. I wouldn't call it a successful exit, but it was an exit. So we bootstrapped that business to a couple of millions in revenue, also in the U.S. market, with a team of I think just 3 people, and and then we sold it in 2020. Though the business generated millions in revenue, it wasn't an exit in millions. So, but enough capital for us founders to kind of pursue our next things or do what we
Mm.
want to do next in our life.
Why,
Now the
if I may ask, like why did you exit? Like you mentioned, it wasn't per se a super successful exit, but like what was the point where you said we need to sell
yeah,
this?
well, from the get go, the idea was okay. How can I bring something from 0 to 1? It was just that mindset for myself. I worked at the VC fund. I see all these entrepreneurs. They're coming to me, and I'm taking interviews about their ideas, and always I see across the table this stare that like, what the fuck does this guy know about what it takes to build a business?
Mm.
Asking the difficult questions but never built one. So, and from that chip on the shoulder, that where it all stemmed. That like, okay, I just need to have that checkbox done.
Right, right.
And that was always the end goal of building and selling it. I wouldn't say it was a venture business, but at the same time, I think we achieved meaningful size, and got the experience of selling something. Because building, running, it's one thing, but actually packaging that and being able to sell it to someone and convince someone to buy it is a totally
Yeah.
another thing. But we were successful
What are one or
at it,
two
and
important things when you want to package and prepare it for a sale that you learned from that, and maybe already from your time, of course, in the VC area era?
uh, yeah, I mean, the most important thing is be extremely structured in how everything is organized, the code base, the files, the knowledge base, so that you can transfer the knowledge as efficiently as possible. So for us, our engineering co-founder did a great job in just like setting all the structure, showing all the building blocks of how the product consisted. That was easy transferable to the new owner. And on the business intelligence side, we pretty much had super structured Google Drive where all the information, all the connections, we did all the necessary intros. So I think once the deal was done, we had like a 6 month transition period where we were available for the new owners to ask us questions if anything was unclear.
Right,
But I think mostly everything went very smoothly.
right. From
So pretty much be very structured and set deadlines of when you want to or agree on a deadline, like when is the last point when they can ask questions
Right,
and
right. Because otherwise, there's
clarifying
always
it.
something 5 years down the line.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah. All right. Yeah, and now, not now, but then you moved to Suppliful, which is now growing into a large business. What did you see back then when you started it in the CPG market? What did you see that you saw like a gap in the market, or what did you think like this is broken and I can fix that?
Yeah, so my before I worked at the VC fund, I actually worked at the Nestle R&D center in France. So that's where I got the first exposure to the CPG industry, how it operates,
Mm,
what type of building blocks it consists of. But after selling Graphomap, the first idea was, okay, let's build some kind of a brand in the US market, leverage our end consumer knowledge. Um, Make sure that the product has repeat sales, because with Graphomap we were selling posters and it was just one time purchase and that's it, and so that we can build a larger, more sustainable brand. And we wanted to get into supplement space and build like all-in-one supplement like AG1, or very popular is this new Beckham brand IM9, I think it's called. And as I dug through the industry, I realized like how archaic and old school it still is. Like, it's first of all difficult to find the co-manufacturers. When you find them, it takes months to just get something from them, a price list or a product list. And then you need to sink into huge inventory costs, then need to set up the distribution. And in my mind, it all felt like, okay, it's so slow. It's not meant for the next generation of entrepreneurs. And by digging further in the market, I realized that in the US, um, only 30,000 new products are being introduced in the market in the CPG space. But the consumers, and these are hundreds of millions of people, would be ready to buy from much smaller micro brands because they offer personalized messaging, better information. But those micro brands are not launching this product because of the constraints I mentioned. So literally seeing that gap, I felt that there's a huge opportunity to build a valuable business in this space. And we're still the only ones tackling these challenges.
wow.
And honestly, it has taken me much longer than I initially anticipated how fast we can build out everything.
Mm,
But to me, every day is still day one, and we are not even close to where my vision is to what we have built. So,
right.
so I'm very excited about the future, and I think we are on to a big opportunity once we create all the correct building blocks.
Right. And what are some building blocks or bottlenecks that you think is took it a bit longer than you anticipated it would take to get to where you are now, or maybe even going forward? What did you not foresee that is actually a bit more difficult to solve than you thought?
Yeah, I think we got the business to about 10 million in revenue in the US market in 2025, and 2024 and 2025 they were kind of slow growth years. So we got in 2024 we did uh, a bit above 8 million, close to 9 million in revenue, and in 2025 we did 11.2 million in revenue.
Mm,
So it's just about 20% growth, which is not a lot. So and the main reason is that we as founders, we were pretty much able to hustle to that point, right?
right.
But in order to unlock the next level of growth, you need to go back to the drawing board. You need to reevaluate who your customers are, understand in depth what drives them, what are their motivations, look at the data. With that amount of revenue, we pretty much proved there is a product market fit, but we never had a go to market fit.
Mm,
And that's what we started to reshape end of 2025. We really locked into our core user base, which are health and wellness professionals. Think personal trainers, naturopaths, pharmacists, physicians that already have some sort of a client base, and they'd be looking to sell new products to their existing customers because the demand is already there for them.
Yeah, yeah.
And we reshaped all of our go-to-market strategy, and it's working. And with much less marketing budget and spending just 4% of our revenue on marketing, we are generating 50, close to 70% more revenue than we did last year.
Wow. Congrats.
So this year we're on track to 18 million in net revenue. So it
18.
shows that 18.
18. Oh, got it.
80 would be
Still,
awesome, you know.
still doubling almost of the previous year.
Almost doubling, yeah. So the goal is to do
Amazing.
at least 50% year-over-year growth.
Wow.
Because we have to also understand slightly the constraints of our business. It's physical goods. There are some operations with our partners. We're not an AI company that can, grow like 500% month over month. We're
Well,
not
you
just
make it
that
sound like
type of
50 is
business.
only a little bit, but I mean 50% year over year. That's amazing, right?
Well, for me as an entrepreneur, my benchmark is 100% year over year, or it's a bad year.
Right. And I mean, you already described quite a bit, but could you give us a glimpse into the supply chain? Like, where do you sort of take over or solve things for your customers and for the brands and the people you work with, and where does it stop for you? Like, do you have your own factory producing supplements, or like where does your part of the supply chain fit in?
Yeah. So I'll start with the supply, and to give a bit of kind of the secret sauce or what we've created for ourselves is like this business in a box solution that we're able to plug into any third party manufacturer in the US. So we have these workstations that we set up in those manufacturers, and then we get access to all the excess inventory that is in their facilities. Because usually they have two types of inventory that is already pre-laid from some of their existing clients, and then they have produced a bit more of the same product that is unlabeled. And we get access to that unlabeled inventory. And then we're able to give that inventory to all of the builders that want to pick these products. Either it's a protein powder, a creatine, a brain focus formula, an ashwagandha, whatever the product is. So, and that type of setup is unique, and we haven't seen anyone else doing something like this in the world currently. There are manufacturers that have their own fulfillment or they have their own production facilities, but none has created this stable network of manufacturer base here in the US.
And those reoccurring productions, or do you sort of sell it as a limited edition batch?
No, those are reoccurring productions, especially as one of our builders, they blow up. Then the manufacturer is even more confident to produce larger volumes. That drives down costs. So basically, it's a win-win-win situation for all the involved parties, right? Now, and we act as an orchestrator of aggregating orders from thousands of these sellers to these single points of contacts in those manufacturing facilities. Now we have 6 manufacturing facilities like this all across the US, but we have a pipeline of more partners that we're looking to onboard in the coming months and years. Because effectively, if our current main vertical is supplements, we plan, and hence we are targeting health and wellness professionals, but we are already we already have coffee, so we be targeting coffee shops, smaller, libraries, people that can launch coffee products and pretty much replicating the same go-to-market playbook just to another ICP. And then the idea is to unlock skincare, pet care, pet supplements, even hot sauces. So imagine how many food
Wow.
trucks are there in the US, right? So, and every food truck would have their own hot sauce. So that's the long-term play of how we will evolve as a true marketplace for CPG goods. Now, or and then quickly
Yeah.
on the builder side, pretty much it's a self-serve platform where builders get access to more than 200 different SKUs. Initially, they pick them for white labeling, so they just can design the label of the product. So they design the label, they link it to Shopify, do a ClickFunnels or any other sales channel, and start selling online, and that's it. We we do all the rest of operations on their behalf. Now, once these builders scale, of course, we help them to customize the product. We build fully customized packaging for them. We do fully customized formulations for them. But this is once they have proved to themselves and us that they can actually sell the product.
Right. Okay, is there one really big success story that you can share, like a customer that came in with you that ordered, I don't know what the minimum is, but let's say, for argument's sake, a couple bottles of protein powder, and now they're just huge? Is it
Yeah.
something you can share?
Yeah, definitely. There is, it's one of our first builders, and he started with Suppliful in late 2021, and he was actually living in his mom's basement. He picked a product from Suppliful and started marketing it. It's a bee pollen supplement, and and yeah, behold, now 4 or 5 years later, he's living in Miami. He has built an 8-figure business with Suppliful, and
Wow.
we enabled him to travel all over the world and pursue his next passions. And he also, at the same time, he's allowed us to introduce more features, introduce more products to grow the Suppliful infrastructure at the same time. So, and there's a couple of other cases like that, and this is I think this is the most inspiring part of what we are doing.
Yeah.
We're truly making people to achieve their own dreams, and end customers are receiving high quality products to make sure that they live better lives. So it's like really connecting to my values, to what we're actually doing in real life.
Yeah. Going back to what you mentioned, being a net positive contributor to society.
Yeah,
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 making dreams come true. That's really awesome, man. That's such an
yeah.
inspiring story. Um, yeah, one of the things we were talking about before we started recording was the fact that we, as European business stories, would like to highlight stories from European entrepreneurs. And the interesting thing is that you are, of course, from Europe. You're also operating part of your business still inside of Europe, I think, huh? And but you're now in the US, growing the business at a really high rate. Um, you've built and raised capital in both Latvia or the EU and now in the US. What's the single biggest practical difference in how fundraising conversation goes in each of these markets? What did you experience?
Mika, I think I'm a shitty fundraiser. I don't know how to fundraise money. I think I know how to run exceptionally resourceful teams and get them to certain goals. As fundraising goes, then we've raised a bit above 3 million in funding, which is relatively small amount for what we've been able to achieve in the US market. And
Mm,
our operation is only US based. Our revenue is only generating in the US. We have a big European team, but these are mostly like, engineers, biz ops, some design and marketing that sits in Riga, but all of the business operates in the US.
mm,
So we've raised from one institutional fund in Europe, Bad Ideas Fund, and the rest has been mostly high net worth individuals. So the fundraising conversations have been very challenging for me. I think I've done over these past 5 years like 400 investor meetings in total, and honestly, I haven't been able to close a priced round. Let's say that is in the range of 5 to 10 million, or 5 million. So I don't have much of an advice there. What I can say, what's happening in the US, especially in the VC world, is they're expecting the business to grow like 500% month over month. Of course,
Mm.
I'm exaggerating, but this is where most of them are betting. And the bets are not necessarily the ones that are the most operationally sound businesses, but is more about the growth and how they could hit the next fundraise so that the value of the business grows and they get the return for the fund that they can report for their investors. So we've been constantly sitting in a not very our business model is a bit complicated. It's not your pure B2B SaaS. Then the AI wave comes and it's not a pure AI business. So um, a lot of macro trends are many times playing against us. But nevertheless, I'm not playing outside factors. I think I've just been I haven't been a good fundraiser, and it's almost like dating, and I'm not good at dating. So
Well, I mean, it does sound like you guys are accelerating, so perhaps that is something that will shift the equation into your favor soon.
yeah, that's also a good point. So if I would be showing even 100% month over month growth consistently for let's say past 6 months, probably the fundraising process would also be much more easier.
Right.
But as we went through these evolution of go-to-market strategy, through the changes of how we position the business, it just the historical growth rates have also slowed down, and then they now want to see the new growth. So all these factors are impacting, of course, but nevertheless, I it's my responsibility to make sure that those are being hit.
Cool. Yeah. It's ultimate feeling of ownership, extreme ownership. Um, is another question about this, what I was hinting to earlier, the European versus American, maybe differences in business. Is there like a mindset difference you think between European and American founders, entrepreneurs, and how they approach risk? Or is that just sort of a myth that exists?
Um, I think that generally in the US, what I've noticed, they have much bigger ambition. They easily get the access to the biggest market in the world. In Europe, we have the European market is the same size, like it's the same kind of the same size as the US in terms of consumers, in terms of people. It's about 350 million people.
Yeah.
But still, Europe is much more fragmented in cultural wise, in nuances, in regulations for different services, especially in our case, right? So if it's supplements, there were different nuances in each of the countries. Um, so that being said, I think we as Europeans, we lack ambition, and we lack the knowledge of go to market. I think yeah, of course, we have billion-dollar businesses also in Europe, but we still see that the biggest companies in the world come from the US.
Yeah.
And this is where they excel. Like in Europe, we can build great products, but man, the way they engineer the go to market, it's engineered. Nothing is by chance. Nothing is by chance. No stone is unturned. Like they know triggers, they understand where to push, and then they figure out how do you incentivize people? How do you make sure like you psychologically they achieve what you expect them to, what your audience, what you want from that audience, and that's engineered. It's not left by chance. So I
Right.
think that is what in general Europe lacks, and I think for them is and it's from day one for them, like, okay, how do I tell the right story? How do I position the business right? How do I understand who our true customers are? Because the amount of opportunity and the amount of people in the US, it's immense. It's crazy. Like, I'm surprised every day myself that, oh my God, it's so many people here.
Right, right, right. Is there also something the other way around where you see European founders or businesses doing something? You mentioned building good products, but is there something that stands out where you say that's something Americans can learn from Europeans in terms of business or founding companies?
Yeah, I think product is where we excel. As example, like the biggest mobility company in Europe, Bolt, right? Basically Uber competitor. Like, I think Uber product compares to Bolt product sucks.
Right, right. Yeah,
But it's Uber became dominant because of the capital access and their ability of engineering GTM. Because once you are successful in the US, the freaking rest of the markets in the world is a piece of cake.
right. Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's, I think, is, and of course I can't tell for all the Europeans, but what I see also in my company and in Latvia, in general, people are very resourceful and they can build extremely good products. But getting those products to the market, that is the biggest challenge. And I think we just lack experience in that, is because of how fragmented and smaller the markets have been in Europe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You probably, as a European, see less examples around you of small businesses blowing up and you thinking like, hey, that's something
Yeah,
I could do as well.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely,
yeah,
definitely. And pulling parallels to Estonia and Skype, and that's what pretty much that there was a collective experience that, hey, like, you can actually sell a company for billions and then people make millions, and then they got this capital and they, okay, let's do it again. It's really doable. And then once you have that collective experience, I think then you look at the world totally different.
right,
And I think and I hope I can achieve something similar in Latvia, where we get that collective experience. That's definitely one of my goals, and we'll see. I don't know if I'll be successful or not, but it's a journey, and I'm trying to enjoy every day of it.
good, good, good to hear. And I'm sure you're going to be that beacon for people back here to be inspired by and then do their own thing. Um, yeah, to close off, I had a few quick questions, bit less theme related than what we've been doing before this. Um, what was one thing that you believed about starting a business 3 years ago that you don't believe anymore?
Um, I think I believe that I was good at organizing people. I think I was good at that point, but when you need to excel to the next level, you need different experience, different organization structure, different processes.
Mm,
And I think I'm still learning and understanding what it takes to build an organization and unlock the next stage of team size, of growth, etc. So yeah, I thought I was better at that, but I was good at that stage, I think.
right, different levels to that game.
Yeah, different level
Yeah,
require different capabilities and experience.
right. You also do mentorships. What's one piece of advice that you would give to every founder that you mentor?
I did mentoring very long time ago, and I'm not doing it
Oh,
honestly
not
anymore.
anymore. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Wrongly
But
informed.
honestly, it's very difficult to give advice. It's extremely difficult to give advice. I think there's no I always tell it like this, like, this is my story. This is what I've experienced. I can share what I've experienced. It's your job to decide what you do with that information or don't do with that information, because we all live in a world where we look at a coin, it's the same coin, but it's different from the angle you're looking at. Right. So one is heads, another one is tails. So, but you're like looking at the same coin, right?
Right, right, right,
So giving advice is very difficult. And I pretty much can't say
right.
one advice. Just,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
though one thing is, I think fear is the biggest. It sounds corny, but fear is the biggest blocker. Fear of what other will think, fear of what if you will fail, fear of yeah, fear of failure, and
Uh,
then you need to figure out in your mind how you overcome that.
right. You have one example of a time that fear really blocked you from doing what you were supposed to do or going the right way?
Um, I think I had way more fear than I was younger. Younger, I had more fear of different kind of things and small things. But today, I think I fear the fact that at the end of the day, I will look back and realize that I could have done more. You know, I could have worked harder. I could have done more input in order to achieve the principles I set out for myself. Um,
Mm.
and the fear of losing time. You know, I think it is the most precious thing that we have, and that we lose time. So have to
Yeah.
remind yourself to enjoy every day. It's a lot of these corny things, but it's fucking reality. I don't know. It has become a reality to me. I don't know.
Yeah, 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 yeah. If it's about making, let's say you go back to the 18-year-old Martins or just an entrepreneur, a young entrepreneur starting out today, what would you advise them in order to not waste time when they're building their business? What's something that you would tell them not to do, or what is a mistake you want them to skip entirely?
Um, expect that things will take longer than you think. And second suggestion, I could have started already earlier. Read a lot of autobiographies, read other successful people life stories, and this will allow to see patterns in your own life. And just, yeah, see how other people have overcome maybe even much more bigger difficulties than a person is facing on that day.
Right. That's great advice. And it also links into the fear question. Um, well, Martin, thank you so much for your time and for sharing your experiences so far. And of course, I will keep following you and would love to see how things are developing for the company. But it really sounds like you guys have sort of laid a great foundation now and are very well positioned to take advantage of that and explode. Um,
Yes. I'm very excited about the future. So yeah, keep following me. I keep adding updates. I think one of the few people that is sharing their full P&L and revenue statements on
yeah.
social media. So yeah, and I think it's fun. It's keeps yourself accountable, and I'm getting a lot of good feedback on that. So
Yeah, yeah, that is so helpful for people to see the real thing. Yeah, thank you so
yeah.
much for that. We'll for the people watching or listening, we'll also share links to Suppliful. If you are a brand, you are an influencer, or some of the other um, avatars that have been mentioned, and you would like to start your own brand, we'll uh, add a link to the description of this video or this podcast. Yeah, so Martins, thanks again, and all the best growing the business.
Thanks, Miha. Thanks for having me, and see you at the next one. Huh?
All right. See you.